Sing the song. Yeah. Come on. Baby, shout it, tell me what you doing. Y'all gotta love me, though. I swear to God. Last year, let's smoke some kills. Sip a little absolute. Say what you know about shorty. Just me and you, yeah.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy D Double back at you with another video. This time we are going to check out K-pop history, 20 minutes, from Seo Taiji to BTS. Now, I mean, we're going to check out the history. Now, I know K-pop goes further than BTS, but you guys, you know, a good portion of you, not everybody, but a very strong majority of you guys said I gotta check this out next. So here we are checking this out, and yeah, I guess we only gonna get to BTS because I know we got Stray Kids came after them. I believe Dreamcatcher came after them. Who else? 18s or 80s. I mean, we still gotta get into 80s. Oh goodness, so many to do with so little time. But anyway, let's get back into this. But first, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. Definitely join the double team. Hit that like button. Like button helps me the most. The more the people hit the like button, the more I show up on what's called the browse page. So when you guys log on to your YouTube and you see all those videos that pop up, I get to pop up sometimes. A lot of you guys found me that way because I definitely have the most of my viewers from the browse page. So help your boy out, hit the like button, let me be seen on more browse pages, and definitely subscribe. We dropping 3 videos a day, sometimes 4. Tomorrow I think it's 6. Because, well, actually no, by the time you get this video, the 6 would have dropped. So yeah, the other day it was 6. But anyway, let's get into the video. Let's see, here we go, bang.
There's one thing this video needs.
K-pop!
K-pop.
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 K-pop. Korean pop.
K-pop.
K-pop, popular music originating in South Korea and encompassing a variety of styles. As you've seen, K-pop has grown exponentially. Everyone in the world, like it or not, must have seen a K-pop related video at least once, either if it's Gangnam Style or a BTS video or an annoying K-pop dancing meme on Twitter. But you might not be sure on what K-pop actually is and where and when it began. Well, it all comes down to a country called South Korea, a peninsula located in East Asia in between China and Japan. Korea was doing great with its kingdoms and dynasties for more than 4,000 years until 1910 to 1945 when Korea was
1910 to 1945. Seo Taiji is from 1910 to 1945. It can't go that far back. It can't. I mean, this has got to be a history lesson at this point. But y'all talking about the wrong history. You're supposed to be here for the K-pop. You cannot tell me 1910 to 1945. Y'all went too far. But you didn't talk about dynasties into the I don't know what hundreds.
kingdoms and dynasties for more than 4,000 years until
2333 BC. You guys went back. You guys went a little too far.
China and Japan. Korea was doing great with its kingdoms and dynasties for more than 4,000 years until 1910 to 1945 when Korea was colonized by Japan. And from 1950 to 1953, Korean War.
Man, Japan was just going around just trying to do anything they wanted to, weren't they? I mean, almost all like the Kung Fu movies, like especially the Bruce Lee ones, like Chinese Connection, Fist of Fury. I mean, there's 2 different movies with 2 different names, and they switch them all the time. And then they call the one big boss, not the big boss, Fist of Fury, but the Chinese Connection, Fist of Fury, where he's supposedly, oh man, what's his name? I want to say he's got something to do with like Ip Man or something like that. It was either Ip Man or the guy from, no, it had to have been Ip Man, like his teacher or something along those lines. But yeah, I can't get out, man. But anyway, I know Japan was, going around trying to take over them, and then even in the Ip Man movie, Japan was going in on China. They took his whole mansion and everything, and so they did the same thing in Korea, and then they wanted to get some smoke from the U.S. Messed up that time, buddy. Messed up that time. Man. But I love Japan, though. I love Japan. I want to go there one day. Had a Japanese girlfriend, so I ain't got no hard feelings to him, but y'all was bogus in the past, though. Sorry.
45 when Korea was colonized by Japan. And from 1950 to 1953, Korean War happened, splitting Korea into North and South. Then Korea was stuck in the Cold War. Due to war and all, the economy wasn't that great. Thus, the music industry wasn't that public nor diverse. Well, Korea did have music like traditional sounds or Japanese-influenced trot. 1970s, economy got a little better.
Soap.
Like traditional sounds or Japanese-influenced trot. 1970s, economy got a little better. Jeans, acoustic guitars, young kids enjoying life, rock, folk music happened. But still the government doesn't like too much freedom and creativity. They want you to work. 1980s, two words, folk songs and ballads. First, Korean ballads kick in. People like these dudes make ballad really popular. Legendary dudes like Jo Young-pil pop out. Bands like Shinawi Durgukwa pop out. People start listening to these dudes instead of these dudes. Until the 90s, Korea gets rich. No one's unemployed. People call it the miracle of Han River. Successful Olympics, CD distribution. Kids get to wear Nike shoes, buy music, go to concerts, clubs happen, dancing becomes a thing.
Hold on, they said kids get to wear Nike? Man, see, I'm so used to the U.S. where you can just do whatever. That's just crazy sounding to me. Kids get to wear, they just couldn't have Nikes? Or was Nikes just not in Korea? Because I know not every country Nike ships to, because they just don't do business over there or whatever. But anyway, let's go.
Kids get to wear Nike shoes, buy music, go to concerts, clubs happen, dancing becomes a thing. Finally, the good old 90s arrived. Ding ding, hi.
Oh boy, I'm glad Korea got better at dancing than this guy.
Concerts, clubs happen, dancing becomes a thing. Finally, the good old 90s arrived. Ding ding, hi, I'm K-pop. All these new genres start to bloom. Hip-hop, dance, R&B, soul, gospel, and of course the popularity of ballads and folk songs continue.
Hold on. There's Korean soul and gospel? Okay, someone's got to send me over a Korean gospel song. I got to hear the Korean gospel song.
Finally, the good old 90s arrived. Ding ding, hi, I'm K-pop. All these new genres start to bloom. Hip-hop, dance, R&B, soul, gospel, and of course the popularity of ballads and folk songs continue. Now, all these artists start writing their own songs. A lot of singer-songwriters appear like Shin Sung-woon, Lee Seung-wan, Yoon Jong-shin, Jeolname, Toy, and more. Boom, March 1990.
Them names was way too long for him to be spitting them out that fast.
Ballads and folk songs continue. Now, all these artists start writing their own songs. A lot of singer-songwriters appear like Shin Sung-woon, Lee Seung-wan, Yoon Jong-shin, Jeolname, Toy, and more. Boom, March 1992. This dude named SeoTaiji appears out of nowhere. Well, actually,
our guy up here spelled it wrong, but so it's Seo Taiji. Okay, he's got a Hello Kitty purse. Almost looks like a Dragon Ball shirt, but I don't know.
Toy and more. Boom, March 1992. This dude named SeoTaiji appears out of nowhere. Well, actually, he was in the aforementioned rock band Shinawi as a bassist, so in the meantime, he was doing his own thing and explores the world of MIDI music, aka electronic digital. He's also a born rebel. He looks different. His crew dances like crazy. His band SeoTaiji and Kids released an album called Yo Taiji with a title song called I Know. They just sweep all the existing awards out there. Similar groups like Deuce might be competitors, but SeoTaiji and Kids and their songs and performances change everything. Critics claim 1992 is the most important year in Korean pop music history. He destroys genres like trot, ballad, and folk music. They released 4 albums afterwards until 1996. He mixes up hip-hop and traditional music in Hayoga. He also likes techno, and even uses heavy metal rock in Classroom Idea, criticizing the Korean education system. And then the public suddenly tries to rewind the song and thinks he's Satan or gay. They keep on tackling social issues like reunification, environment, drugs, education. He's basically the Tupac of K-pop. Speaking of Tupac, he even touches gangster rap in his last album title, Come Back Home. And then they disband. More like disappear. Poof. Yup, just like that.
Oh, we checking that out. We checking Korean Tupac. Oh, we checking that out. Come Back Home. I got a pen. And I just put new ink, so I got a piece of scratch paper. Seo Taiji, and I'm spelling it the right way, not how they got it up here. Come Back Home. Oh, we checking that out. That's without a doubt. Korean Tupac, yeah. Yeah.
Rap in his last album title, Come Back Home. And then they disband. More like disappear. Poof. Yup, just like that. Leaving one message. We've showed you everything we can try. Korea freaks out. Kids don't go to school, protest, attempt suicide. People say K-pop is dead. Well, false alarm. SeoTaiji and kids might be gone, but their impact still lives. Now, listening, radio equals lame. On the other hand, watching TV, performances, dance music, choreographies, style, competition equals cool. Young teenage fans, official fan clubs, fan meetings, fanfics, Hasing fans, fan wars, capital, artist management. It was like a cult, and SeoTaiji and kids were their idol. On the side, the tornado dance from I Know was the first dance choreo that went viral. Now, corporates see money in K-pop and idol businesses. Samsung, Doosan, Hyundai, LG, Daewoo, Lotte all make their own record companies and labels. Competition begins. Huge investments flow from their mother company. Ambitious scouting, projects, new market, but no system yet. Expenses overissued, no transparency, business based on few inner circle connections. Result, obviously, all gone in a few years. Big failure. But then there's DSP. The founder Lee Ho-yeon had some actual experience managing big artists like Taejina, Yoo-hyul, Shim-shin, and Sobangcha. Sobangcha was actually close to an idol.
He's just showing off saying them names that fast. He's just showing off. He ain't even saying syllables. He's just no.
All gone in a few years. Big failure. But then there's DSP. The founder Lee Ho-yeon had some actual experience managing big artists like Taejina, Yoo-hyul, Shim-shin, and Sobangcha. Sobangcha was actually close to an idol group model way before SeoTaiji and Kids in 1987. However, their music was more trot-based and had very simple dances, thus not as impactful as an idol group like SeoTaiji and Kids. Anyways, Lee Ho-yeon, who had the experience, makes his own label DSP in 1991. Wasn't really successful during the SeoTaiji era. Then in 1996, launches a group literally called Idol that initially had decent popularity but gets demolished by SM Entertainment's HOT. 1996 and HOT debuts.
Oh wait, no. Oh no. We got more notes. Idol? We checking them all. We checking them all. If we gonna do history class, we gonna do history class. Come on, pen. Idol. And what was the next one?
But gets demolished by SM Entertainment's HOT. 1996 and HOT debuts. Hardcore rap, distinct fashion, and hairstyles. Criticizing society. HOT is made by today's famous SM Entertainment. Founded by Isuman, in short, SM. Starts as SM Studio in 1989, then reforms into SM Entertainment in 1995. SM develops a systematic idol training system and earns huge success with HOT. DSP gets mad. 1997, they throw out Text Kids. SM activates their trap card. Girl group SES debuts in December 1997.
Y'all going, man, see, this is what happens when you try to cram hours worth of information into 20 minutes.
Kids. SM activates their trap card. Girl group SES debuts in December 1997. And then DSP says, well actually no, IMF says, everyone hold your fire. Korea will be entering the economic crisis. People lose jobs, businesses go bankrupt, half of the entertainment labels shut down, TV music programs get cancelled. People are struggling. They're jumping off bridges, so they aren't really cool or interested about idols. Well, 1998 comes, SM be like, the show must go on. Pops out Shinhwa. DSP says, hold my beer. We present you Finkel. At this point, SM and DSP
Come on, bro. Say something more about them.
aren't really cool or interested about idols. Well, 1998 comes, SM be like, the show must go on. Pops out Shinhwa.
Shinhwa. Oh yeah, we getting it.
DSP says, hold my beer. We present you Finkel.
Finkel. So this is, I'm guessing, stage 2 K-pop, I'm guessing.
At this point, SM and DSP is the Marvel and DC Comics of this era. HOT versus Texkiz, SES versus Finkel, Shinha versus GOD. Well, GOD was actually produced by a third company called JYP and wasn't actually the typical dance idol group, but I'll get to that later. Each company and group shares the trophies and awards around music shows turn after turn, and of course on the way there were other groups like Baby Vox, Chakra, Cleo, and talented solo artists like Yoo Seung-jun, Park Ji-yoon, Lee Jung-yeon as well. Looking back, we now call this era the first.
I'm not checking all them. That's too many. We couldn't go after the very first ones.
First generation of K-pop. Meanwhile,
oh, slap me. Okay, get rid of that separator of thinking that was gonna be first and second generation. Let's go.
You might be wondering, whatever happened to SeoTaiji and the Boys after they disbanded? I don't know about SeoTaiji himself, but one dude for sure was planning something. Yang Hyun-suk, who was the rapper and dancer of SeoTaiji and Boys, was trying out his talent as a producer, but was kinda unlucky in the meantime. But anyways, opened up his own company, Hyun Label, in 1996, but kinda flopped with a group called Keepsakes. Then renames his company to MF Label and launches the hip-hop duo, Jinushan. Jinushan surprisingly did pretty well, even though hip-hop was pretty new. Yang Hyun-suk was well known to have an influence and background in hip-hop dance and music. He was spotted in Itaewon dancing all the time before his debut dates. So this background and success with Jinushan led him to reform his company into YG Entertainment and launched another hip-hop group called One Time.
We'll check out One Time. But so the dancer from I should have wrote it down. I didn't write down the name of their group, his group.
Yang Hyun-suk was well known to have an influence and background in hip-hop dance and music. He was spotted in Itaewon dancing all the
Nope, not far enough.
but kind of flopped with a group called Keepsakes.
Come on, a little further.
The Boys after they disbanded. I don't know about SeoTaiji himself, but one dude for sure was planning something. Yang Hyun-suk, who was the rapper and dancer of SeoTaiji and Boys, was trying out his talent as a producer, but was kinda unlucky in the meantime. But anyways, opened up his own company, Hyun Label, in 1996, but kinda flopped with a group called Keepsakes. Then renamed.
So a guy from the first K-pop group started YG, who has Blackpink, I want to say. I don't remember any of the other ones that might have been on there off the top of my head, but I do recall, I think Blackpink, To Anyone, I believe. And then CL left and said, screw y'all YG, I'm up out of here doing my own thing. Get it, girl, let's go.
Names his company to MF Label and launches the hip-hop duo, Jinushan. Jinushan surprisingly did pretty well, even though hip-hop was pretty new. Yang Hyun-suk was well known to have an influence and background in hip-hop dance and music. He was spotted in Itaewon dancing all the time before his debut dates. So this background and success with Jinushan led him to reform his company into YG Entertainment and launched another hip-hop group called One Time. First generation of K-pop was sparked by SeoTaiji and Boys. Everything got systematic, like the trainee systems and all. Groups with crazy hair, crazy fashion, and dance music. K-pop still kinda strange, new, but popular to the public. Kinda trying to imitate American pop. While corporate-backed labels died with the IMF crisis, labels with professional music background become big, like DSP, SM, and YG. It was the opening, a door to a new era, to the 21st century. Second generation begins. Wait says 1.5 gen. On the conversion to second gen, there is a transition stage. Surprisingly, a lot of solo artists who sing ballads, R&B, and groups that do ballads or rock become super popular. Song Si-kyung, Hee-sung, Vibe, MC The Max, Buzz, The Cross, BOS, SG Wannabe. Then where'd K-pop go? Well, many talented solos were there to bridge the transition. The famous Boa, known as Asia's Star, arguably the most successful solo female K-pop artist in history, from SM Entertainment. Got casted by Isuman himself and debuted at August 2000. Also debuted in Japan. Critics state Boa is one of the biggest contributors and pioneer in opening foreign markets for K-pop and SM. Boa gets to get all these first, youngest, most, blah 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 titles and rewrites K-pop history. Other solo artists also kept the K-pop flame burning with competitions such as Rain and Seven. Speaking of Rain, let's get back to JYP. Park Jin-young, aka JYP, is this dude that was active during the SeoTaiji era as well. Initially got refused numerous times from labels due to his weird face and body, but finally debuts in 1994 as
They hit him where it hurts. They're not wrong. I'm sorry. That is a terrible picture, but I know it's just because I paused like that right there.
as a solo artist. Tale is, SM himself rejects JYP from an audition, but later asks in private just because he wants to buy songs JYP produced. JYP is extremely talented in dancing and also being sexy, which was a first for a male at that time. Won many #1s during the era even with the competition with Seo Taiji and Kids. Became a singer-songwriter and producer and made hit songs like Honey and Swing Baby. With that experience, goes on as a producer, producing G.O.D, once called the Nations Group, and also excavates Park Ji-hoon, who sang Adult Ceremony, also produced by JYP. And in the midst of that, makes his own company, JYP Entertainment. Back to Rain. Rain was a backdancer of JYP and Park Ji-hoon. JYP trained Rain and debuted him, also giving him many hit songs like How to Avoid the Sun and It's Raining. Boa from SM, Rain from JYP, Seven from YG. This is when we start to see the three companies grow and become the now known big three of K-pop, SM, JYP, YG. Another fun fact about the 1.5 generation is that many solo artists tried their luck after disbanding from the first generation groups, like Kangta, Pada, Okjuyeon, Eunjiwon. However, to be honest, their popularity wasn't like before. Except maybe Ihori, former Finkel member that was least popular among the members, but suddenly pops up with a sexy solo debut and becomes Korea's diva. Finally, it's second gen. The idol groups are back, and the public is used to the word idol. SM Entertainment introduces TVXQ in 2004. They get the Rookie Awards, actually all the awards. Gets a Daesang on their second debut year and gets a Grand Slam in 2006, another Grand Slam in 2008, Oricon chart #1 in Japan. It's not a stretch to say they basically conquered Korea, Japan, and China. SM got rich. They make more groups like Super Junior in 2005, Girls' Generation in 2007, SHINee, and FX in 2009. Super Junior becomes extremely popular with songs like Sorry Sorry in China and Southeast Asia. Girls' Generation becomes the nation's girl group with their stunning visuals and charmful songs like Kissing You and Baby Baby. They don't stop with Korea. They go off to conquer Japan with their songs G, Genie, and O, bringing all those titles from Japan charts and album sales. SHINee puts out super addictive songs like Juliet, Ring Ding Dong, Lucifer, and achieves attention from mostly Japan and Southeast Asia, eventually touring all around these areas. FX shows the experimental side of SM. They carry a unique concept with all of their songs with obscure lyrics. Their unique electronic songs get very positive reactions from professional music critics. And note that we start to see non-Korean members, such as Victoria and Amber. With all these groups, SM is now all over Asia. Now SM might be big, no group could rival TVXQ, but here comes a big group, Big Bang.
Oh yeah, a lot of people have been saying check out Big Bang. Put that down. Big Bang. Let's go.
Big Bang from YG Entertainment is a little different. Debuted in 2006 as 5 members from a real survival program conducted by Yang In-suk himself, Big Bang places its roots into hip-hop. 2007, they released their EP Always with the song Lies. This song was so big that it made them escalate to the top immediately. Then major hit songs after hit songs like Last Farewell, Haru, Red Sunset make them the unquestionable #1 group in Korea. They go on doing solo work, Japan activities, world tours, sweep awards, pointless to list achievements. They go on further with their career with mega hits like Blue, Fantastic Baby, Loser, Baby, Bang Bang Bang. Big Bang becomes the most popular, influential, listened to group. No male group can rival them in the second gen except maybe early TVXQ. The biggest point that differentiated them would be that the general public, including men, loved and sang most of their hit songs. Big Bang's leader G-Dragon produced most of these mega hit songs, not to mention his successful solo work, and lives as the biggest Korean fashion, music, and trend icon to this day. So who was Girls' Generation's rival then? In YG Entertainment, probably 21. 4-member group debuted in 2009 with a very different
Oh, you know, someone did say that it was not to anyone, it's 21. I don't know, maybe with the accent that works that way. 21. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
In YG Entertainment, probably 21. 4-member group debuted in 2009 with a very different concept, strong female image. Releases mega hits like Fire, I Don't Care, Go Away, Lonely, I Am the Best. They were the best. Ranked as one of the best K-pop groups of the past decade by Billboard, and a female group that finally offered an alternative concept from the traditional pretty cutesy girl group stereotype. Girls' Generation and 21 weren't rivals in style because they were so different. However, the two groups were huge and probably the most successful girl groups in second gen K-pop history. Speaking of girl groups, we have to go back to JYP, because JYP is known as the girl group royal company. Wonder Girls is among one, debuted in 2007, put out major hits like Tell Me, So Hot, Nobody, which were all viral hits within the nation and Asia due to their simple and catchy point dances. In 2008 Haiwon Seoul Music Awards, they received their first Daesang as a girl group, competing with Big Bang and TVXQ. Before Girls' Generation got extremely popular, they had the nation's girl group title in 2007 to 2008. Their style was distinct compared to Girls' Generation or 21 because it was mostly retro pop or electro funk. Wonder Girls were the first to appear on an American TV show, showing the possibilities of expansion of K-pop to the West. Nobody was the first K-pop song to enter the Billboard Top 100 chart. On the other hand, JYP puts out boy groups such as 2PM and 2AM, who respectively have the Monster Idol and Ballad Prince concept. 2PM does especially well with hit songs like 10 out of 10, Again and Again, and Heartbeat, also becoming a sensation in Korea and Japan. Here we see Nickun, a member of 2PM from Thailand, showing that K-pop is surely expanding beyond China and Japan. Now, it would be safe to say that the second gen of K-pop was led by the mentioned groups. There are other groups such as 4 Minute who...
Okay, hold on. They're just gonna just go way right over that. They're just gonna say forget about that. We're not gonna explain that. 2 a.m. and 2 p.m. There's two different groups with the same name. It's just a matter of 12 hours of difference. What is going on? Just gonna go. Just not even acknowledge that. What?
Top 100 chart. On the other hand, JYP puts out boy groups such as 2PM and 2AM, who respectively have the Monster Idol and Ballad Prince concept. 2PM does especially well with hit songs like 10 out of 10, Again and Again, and Heartbeat, also becoming a sensation in Korea and Japan. Here we see...
So are they like linked up somehow though? Still, like, I mean, how do you put the same? Like, it's like having a group saying daytime and nighttime. I mean, what? Let me know in the comment section. Is 2 a.m. and 2 p.m. like the same group, or are they just totally different and with the same name basically?
Nickun, a member of 2PM from Thailand, showing that K-pop is surely expanding beyond China and Japan. Now, it would be safe to say that the second gen of K-pop was led by the mentioned groups. There are other groups such as 4 Minute who made a strong impact and shift on the concept of girl groups. Then there was Kpop, produced by DSP, and were known as big competitors to the Wonder Girls and Girls' Generation. Japan went crazy over them. Everyone knew their songs and choreographies like Step and Mr. Now, can we move on third gen? Well, maybe yes or maybe no. Some people draw the line by 10 years, as in 2000 to 2010. Some experts draw the line by sudden inflation and saturation of groups. A lot of groups start to pop up, like East, M Black, C, and Blue, B1A for Block B, BAP, B2B, VIX, Infinite, Teen Top, US, and more. For girl groups, After School, Tiara, Rainbow Secret, Miss A, 9 Muses, Girls' Day, Sister, A-Pink, ESID, AOA, and more. So the groups that debuted in the late 2000s and early 2010s are tricky to categorize.
Plus, from this point on, please don't hate me for not going in depth of every single group or missing some of them, because that would change the title of this video to K-pop history explained in 200 minutes.
But if we were to say there was a dominant group of this transition era, it's EXO. EXO debuts in 2012 in two groups.
Oh, we into EXO. We into EXO. Yes. They good too. I like EXO.
There was a dominant group of this transition era, it's EXO. EXO debuts in 2012 in two groups, EXO-M and EXO-K. Another experimental approach from SM trying to divide and expand markets. Anyways, EXO wins, tops, and grows. China is basically EXO's. EXO has the biggest and also most notorious fandom in Korea. That's how much people love EXO. They put out hit after hits like Growl, Overdose, Call Me Baby, Monster, Lotto. Their only rival might be the still yet hugely successful Big Bang. And then they slowly open the doors to third gen. Now, these are some of the characteristics of the third generation of K-pop. 1. Mass inflation and red ocean of idols, saturated market. 2. Globalization as a norm, catching the global audience is a must. 3. Idol audition survival programs. Because of the red ocean of idols, naturally the mass public begins to dislike K-pop idols due to lack of creativity, overlapping concepts, and exhaustion of idol music. This is when the public starts to divide the term idol with artist. Many major TV audition programs become popular looking for real talented singers and vocals rather than visually appealing dance-based idols that only get to sing a few seconds in one song. Well, this is what the public thought at that time. I know there are exceptions among idols too. Oh yeah, in the meantime, in 2012, the worldwide viral hit Psy's Gangnam Style happened, getting the once most viewed video on the planet, thanks to its...
Wow, that was all the way back in 2012? Oh man, it didn't feel like it was that long ago. I thought it was like 2015 maybe.
What viral hit besides Gangnam Style happened, getting the once most viewed video on the planet, thanks to its addictive, hilarious dance and beat. It got a number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. This was basically the first time that the entire world notices a country called South Korea and K-pop without having to mention nukes and this dude. And that's North Korea, by the way. In the third gen, despite the influx of idol groups, the only ones that survive are groups that have amazing music quality or musical talent or something different. Because the Korean market is so small and saturated, it now becomes a norm to have at least more than one global English-speaking member in the group. This member usually is in charge of speaking during overseas interviews and tours. Not only member-wise, but marketing and music-wise, the attempts become more globalized too, testing out new markets such as South America. In the meantime, the public and entertainment companies want a system to get the best quality idols out there, and that is by following the TV trend by making TV audition survival programs with worldwide contestants. This system allows idols to gain publicity.
So they got like Korean American Idol and Korean The Voice and stuff like that. And then and then how come they never why do they always go with the big group? Like they were saying, a little bit earlier, where each person gets to say a couple bars and you barely know who it is because it was so quick. I mean, how come there wasn't too many big, like, just soloists? Because, sometimes you want to hear just one person. Yeah, I guess we get some songs where it is just one person on the album, but, I don't know.
TV audition survival programs with worldwide contestants. This system allows idols to gain publicity even before debut and also verify popularity and talent. Although audition programs such as Produce 101 to Produce X have been extremely popular, it got caught in a corruption and manipulation issue recently, which likely put out the credibility and support towards these survival programs. Now, to name a few groups that are leading the third generation currently, definitely the girl group Trinity, Twice, Blackpink, Red Velvet. JYP's girl group Twice has earned the absent nation's girl group title since Girls' Generation, along with major hit songs that—
Hold up. Twice has been out since 2015, and they still sound like they're 16 years old. These girls they were not 11. I think, to be honest, I don't want to, be hating on nobody and starting up no fan wars, but Twice needs to grow up a little bit because they got to be too old for doing what they're doing. I'm just saying. But hold on, I got to add Red Velvet in here because, yeah, I'm trying to catch the hot ones, and if that's the Holy Trinity, I gotta get on the third one.
Twice has earned the absent nation's girl group title since Girls' Generation, along with major hit songs that dominated Korea and Japan mostly, like Cheer Up, TT, Knock Knock, Likey, and Fancy. Interestingly, these girls were also a result of an audition program called 16. YG's girl group Blackpink has the record of most YouTube views, 56.7 million in 24 hours, with its Kill This Love music video topping Ariana Grande. Their music videos have this much views each, which saves my time on trying to explain and prove their popularity. Also, they're the highest charting female K-pop group on Billboard Hot 100 and 200, plus they had an epic stage at Coachella too. SM girl group Red Velvet might not be as big as the former two in size, but is always praised by the public and critics for their unique sound and high quality songs. Time magazine has highlighted their versatile musical style and named them as one of the best K-pop groups. Billboard agreed too in 2019. Fun fact, Red Velvet was the first K-pop group to perform in North Korea, and Kim Jong-un adjusted the schedule to go see them. Now let's not try to leave out many other talented, hardworking girl groups such as Mamamoo, Momoland, Luna, IZ*ONE, G-Idol, CLC, Dreamcatcher, G-Friend, Lovelyz, Oh My Girl.
Yeah, Dreamcatcher. Yes, that's the one. Mamamoo. I've been getting a lot of people asking for that one. I gotta get on it. So much to do, so little time.
Mamamoo, Momoland, Luna, IZ*ONE, G-Idol, CLC, Dreamcatcher,
G. I think I did one. I gotta edit it still too. But I believe I did one last night. But I gotta edit it still. Let's go.
Working girl groups such as Mamamoo, Momoland, Luna, IZ*ONE, G-Idol, CLC, Dreamcatcher, G-Friend, Lovelyz, Oh My Girl, 우주소녀, 공원소녀, Everglow, Wiki Mickey, and more. As for boy groups, it's hard to pick a definitive popularity or impact, but just to name a few, 17, NCT GOT7, Winner, iKON, Monsta X, AT, Stray Kids are definitely the biggest and most popular globally. Most of these groups actively go on world tours and appear on Western TV shows nowadays. And then there are groups such as
BAB, Impact, Victon, Astro, Pentagon, SF9, The Boys,
BTS, Ace, JBJ, Golden Child, Intuit, UMB, Very Very, One Us, and more. So many girl groups, boy groups, mixed groups, new global audience, thus various music styles as well. You name it, K-pop has it. Oh, you don't like groups, super produced modern electronic music? Maybe try IU out. She's Korea's nation's sister and also nation's singer. Been around since 2008 with numerous ballad and K-pop hit songs. Single-handedly has the popularity equivalent to K-pop's biggest idols. Then there's K-hip hop R&B, a whole scene of its own. Maybe check out Zico, who has an overlap background with K-pop. Then there's rock. Maybe check out bands like Day6 and Flying the Rose and more. So, it's already 2020, technically 10 years have passed again, and the line is blurring between 3rd gen and 4th gen. Then what would be the standards of dividing the generations? I can't be the one deciding, but just to add my personal 2 cents, maybe the line could be drawn by observing groups that start off already with a bigger fandom globally rather than domestically in Korea from the pre-debut and rookie phase. In short, maybe no more validation or dependence from Korean fans needed, or there's an alternative view of simply drawing the line by post-BTS. And yes, I know y'all are screaming, what, not a single mention of BTS until now, but hold on a little bit more, I have a whole buffet for you. Well, anyways, this whole generation dividing process
He said he got a whole buffet for you. Bro, you got a minute and a half to get it out. How you gonna have a whole buffet of BTS in a minute and a half, my guy? And you still gotta talk about 3rd to 4th generation. Boy, you better put some respect on these boys' name.
now, but hold on a little bit more, I have a whole buffet for you. Well, anyways, this whole generation dividing process is a whole debate subject of its own, so let's just leave it there and throw it to the comment section. Finally, there is one group that needs a thorough separate section in K-pop history, and it is BTS. BTS started off from a small company called Big Hit under the producer named Bang Si-hyuk, who was a former colleague and good friend to JYP, but split paths to make his own company. Bang Si-hyuk gathered 7 members originally and planned to make a hip-hop group, however the concept and musical style diversified over the years. BTS didn't gain much attention during their first years.
That's for the ladies. That's for the ladies. Enjoy, y'all. I'm gonna be looking over here while y'all do what y'all gotta do to look over there.
And musical style diversified over the years. BTS didn't gain much attention during their first years, often getting mocked by their group name that means Bulletproof Boy Scouts, and apparently some or many people thought they were.
Yeah, when I heard Bulletproof Boy Scouts, I was like, huh? Really? That's about as soft as you can get, but hey, they the biggest period right now, so
getting mocked by their group name that means Bulletproof Boy Scouts, and apparently some or many people thought their appearances were unpretty. However, BTS differentiated themselves with other idols by speaking about the unspoken in their lyrics, such as mental health, youth problems, social issues, and the journey towards loving oneself. BTS also made their own universe and story in their music videos. They made moderate success until they got mainstream with their songs like I Need You, Dope, Save Me, and Fire.
불타오르네.
After that, every move they made pretty much became history. They topped the Billboard 200 charts 4 times in a row alongside the Beatles, appeared on multiple major American TV shows, got awarded by the Billboard Music Awards, AMAs multiple times, did a Grammys act, did a UN speech, did a cover of Times, had stadium world tours including Wembley and Saudi Arabia, sold over 20 million cumulative albums to this date. BTS has become so big that they become expressed as the BTS or Korean invasion, just like the British invasion from the Beatles by multiple critics and journalists. Many point out that it's even more significant regarding the fact that BTS's music and lyrics were not in English but in Korean. Also started off as underdogs in the K-pop industry itself, struggling without the support of big capital nor media. In the meantime, there might have been attempts to compete with BTS, for example, SM making their own Avengers by combining members from existing successful groups like SHINee, EXO, NCT into a collaborative single group called Super M. Well, they did get a #1 on Billboard 200, but many people criticized the method of bundling issues in the process. However, industry-wise, it was a fresh attempt that never happened in K-pop history, trying to officially combine members from different groups into one with an agenda to make success in the American or global market. And it is these new attempts that fuel K-pop to go further on. Anyways, back to BTS, it's not an overstatement to say that BTS is probably bigger than all of K-pop combined at this point. However, from SeoTaiji to BTS, many groups existed, and every time records were broken. People were surprised. Back then, no one imagined anything bigger than TVXQ, Girls' Generation, Big Bang, EXO, Gangnam Style. But here we are, K-pop is still evolving. The market is getting bigger and it's becoming more well known all around the world. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens in the future of K-pop. Will it just disappear as a trend or get even bigger, like it always has?
Well, K-pop's got me. They didn't got me. I'd have never thought I'd ever be sitting here with a whole channel full of K-pop. I ain't even gonna front. I didn't had to move my whole original channel to a whole new channel because K-pop has done taken me over. I swear to God. I swear to God, I don't understand how it happened, but it happened. Sometimes I miss my old music, but hey, we gotta evolve. And if you wanna say you're a music lover and you wanna experience new stuff, then you gotta give it a shot. And hey, you never know, you might be a fan. But anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. I got a decent amount of notes here. Got a lot of stuff to do. So little time to do it. But anyway, I might be dropping like 10 vids a day trying to keep up with just this list. Not to mention my already made and very big Excel spreadsheet. And not to mention my very long and huge watch later videos that people say and I'm not home. So I'll go look it up real quick on YouTube and then throw it to my watch later. That's why sometimes if you'll see I'll start a video and it's like right here. That's because I was putting it in the watch later bin. But anyway, enough of that. See you on the next one. But first, like and subscribe. See ya.